All right, so everybody, thank you for coming. This is Evita. Woo! We are doing an opera a cappella because we're all awesome. And so tonight we have, let me pull up my list here. So Jared will be playing Shay, our musical narrator. Paul will be Perron and a bunch of other people. And we have America here who is joining us, and she is going to be Ava's mother and a bunch of other people. And Travis is Ava's brother and a bunch of other people. And let's see, we have Matthew, who is going to be Magaldi and a bunch of other people. And we have Ted over here, who's our narrator, our scene description, and I will be playing Ava. So let's get to it. And
Act 1, Scene 1. A cinema in Buenos Aires, 26 July, 1952. An audience is watching a less than distinguished movie in both the original London and New York productions of Evita. A clip from one of Eva Perón's own movies was used. The soundtrack dialogue is in Spanish, the music melodramatic. The following lines are spoken.
Carlos.
Julieta, mi querida Julieta.
Carlos, no tendrías que haber venido.
Julieta, ni un milar de soldados me puede tener.
Pero es peligroso, mi padre te arrestará.
Tenía que venir.
Carlos.
Hasta este momento, mis labios no han osado mover la palabra amor.
Carlos, ten cuidado. Te quiero, Carlos. Te quiero.
Suddenly, the film grinds to a halt. The people in the cinema begin to protest, but are silenced by an announcement.
It is my sad duty to inform you that Eva Perón, spiritual leader of the nation, entered immortality at 8:25 this evening.
The people of the cinema break down crying, turning to each other for comfort as they mourn. Scene 1A, Eva's father's funeral. A young Eva and her mother and siblings exit a cart, veiled and wearing all black. Eva is carrying a small bouquet of flowers. They arrive at a church where a funeral ceremony is being held. However, the chaperones at the gate won't let the family in. A woman comes to the gate, also dressed in black, but looking more elegant than Eva and her family.
Who's the woman? What did I cast as the woman? You are not welcome here.
He was the father of my children too. They have a right to see him, to pay their last respects.
You are not his wife. Your children are bastards.
Eva's mother makes an obscene gesture at the other woman, and then they begin to yell at each other in Spanish. As they are arguing, Eva slips through the adults, runs full speed into the church before anyone can stop her. She places the flowers on her father's dead chest and kisses his forehead before the chaperones grab her by the arms and carry her out. All the while, she is yelling, protesting that she just wants to see her father. Scene 2, Requiem for Evita. Oh, what a circus. Eva's funeral proceeds through the streets of Buenos Aires. Che is in the only non-participant. He moves through the mourners, apparently unseen.
Evita, Requiem Evita, 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 Evita.
Oh, what a circus! Oh, what a show! Argentina has gone to town over the death of an actress called Eva Perón. We've all gone crazy, mourning all day and mourning all night, falling over ourselves to get all of the misery right. Oh, what an exit! That's how to go when they're ringing your curtain down. Demand to be buried like Eva Perón. It's quite a sunset and good for the country in a roundabout way. We've made the front page of all the world's papers today. But who is this Santa Evita? Why all this howling, hysterical sorrow? What kind of goddess has lived among us? How will we ever get by without her? She had her moments, she had some style. The best show in town was the crowd outside the Casa Rosada crying Eva Perón. But that's all gone now. As soon as the smoke from the funeral clears, we're all gonna see and how she did nothing for years.
Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcetus spes nostra. Salve, salve Regina, a te clamamus, exulis filii Eva, a te spiramus sementes et flentes, o clemens opia.
You let down your people, Evita. You were supposed to have been immortal. That's all they wanted. Not much to ask for. But in the end, you could not deliver.
The mood turns violent as protesters take to the streets, led by Che.
Sing, you fools, but you've got it wrong. Enjoy your prayers because you haven't got long. Your queen is dead, your king is through. She's not coming back to you. Show business kept us all alive since 17 October 1945. But the star is gone, the glamour's run thin. That's a pretty bad state for a state to be in. Instead of government, we had a stage. Instead of ideas, a prima donna's rage. Instead of help, we were given a crowd. She didn't say much, but she said it loud. Sing, you fools, but you got it wrong. Enjoy your prayers because you haven't got long. Your queen is dead, your king is through. She's not coming back to you.
The mood calms once again, and we are now in a large church where you see Eva's body in a glass coffin. She is surrounded by a procession of mourners who kiss her coffin or lay flowers next to it as they walk by.
Salve, salve Regina Perón, a te clamamus, exulis filii Eva, a te suspiramos clementes, et flentes o clemens opia.
Don't cry for me, Argentina, for I am ordinary, unimportant, and undeserving of such attention, unless we all are. I think we all are. So share my glory, so share my coffin, so share my glory, so share my coffin.
It's our funeral too.
Scene 3. On this night of 1,000 stars, Eva and Maligati, Eva, beware of the city. Sorry. Flashback to 1934 to a nightclub in Junin, Eva's hometown. Eva Duarte is 15 and sharing the bed with a much older man, a lounge singer. The housekeeper knocks on the door, letting him know it's time for him to take the city.
Now Eva Perón had every disadvantage you need if you're gonna succeed. No money, no class, no father, no bright lights. There was nowhere she'd been at the age of 15. As this tango singer found out, Agustin Magaldi, who has the distinction of being the first man to be of use to Eva Duarte.
The lounge singer, Agustin Magaldi, steps onto the stage and sings with great gusto. As he sings a tango about love, he glances at Eva, who is sitting with her family, and it is obvious that she thinks he's singing directly to her.
On this night of 1,000 stars, let me take you to heaven's door, where the music of love's guitars plays forevermore. In the glow of those twinkling lights, we shall love through eternity. On this night and a million nights, fly away with me. I never dreamed that a kiss could be as sweet as this. Now I know that it can. Alone without a love of my own, I was a desperate man. But all my grief disappeared and all the sorrow I feared wasn't there anymore. On that magical day when you first came my way, mi amor. On this night, on this night, on this night of 1,000 stars, let me take you to heaven's door, where the music of love's guitars plays forevermore.
Magaldi joins Eva and her family, mother, 3 sisters, brother, at their table. Jay is loitering nearby at the bar.
To think that a man as famous as you are could love a poor little nothing like me. I want to be a part of B.A. Buenos Aires, Big Apple.
She wants to be a part of B.A. Buenos
Aires, Big Apple.
Buenos Aires, Big Apple.
Just listen to that. They're on to you, Magaldi. I'd get out while you can.
It's happened at last. I'm starting to get started. I'm moving out with my man.
Now, Eva, don't get carried away.
Monotony fast. Bury are departed.
What's that? You, the girl you love.
The girl I love? What are you talking about?
She really brightened up your out-of-town engagement. She gave you all she had. She wasn't in your contract. You must be quite relieved that no one's told the papers so far.
I wanna be part of B.A. Buenos Aires, Big Apple. Would I have done what I did if I hadn't thought, if I hadn't known we would stay together?
Seems to me that there's no point in resisting. She's made up her mind, you've no choice. Why don't you be the man who discovered her? You'll never be remembered for your voice.
The city can be paradise for those who have cash. The class and the connections that we need will make a splash. The likes of you get swept up in the morning with the trash. if you were rich or middle class.
Through the middle classes, I will never accept them. My father's other family were middle class, and we were kept out of sight, hidden from view at his funeral.
Do all you can give you this trouble.
Eva, beware of the city. It's hungry and cold, can't be controlled, it is mad. Those who are fools are swallowed up whole, and those who are not become what they should not become, changed. In short, they go bad.
That is good for me. I'm bored, so clean and so ignored. I've only been predictable. Respectable birds fly out of here. So why, oh why, oh why the hell can't I? I only want variety of society. I want to be a part of B.A. Buenos Aires, Big Apple.
She wants to be a part of B.A. Buenos Aires, Big Apple.
5 years from now, I shall come back and finally say, you have your way, come to town. But you'll look at me with a foreigner's eyes. The magical city, a younger girl's city, a fantasy long since put down.
All you've done to me, was that a young girl's fantasy? I played your games all right, didn't I? I already know what cooks, how the dirty city feels and looks. I tasted it last night, didn't I? I'm gonna be a part of B.A. Buenos Aires, Big Apple.
She's gonna be a part of B.A. Buenos Aires, Big Apple.
Ava, beware your ambition. It's hungry and cold, can't be controlled, will run wild. This in a man is danger enough, but you're a woman, not even a woman, not very much more than a child. Whatever you say, I'll not steal you away.
He says Magaldi reluctantly agrees to take Eva with him to Buenos Aires. She and her family say a tearful goodbye as she climbs aboard the train with Magaldi. Scene 4, Buenos Aires. Eva and Magaldi arrive in Buenos Aires.
What's new? Buenos Aires, I'm new. I want to say just a little stuck on you. You'll be on me too. I get out here, Buenos Aires. Stand back. You ought to know what you're going to get in me. Just a little touch of star quality. Fill me up with your heat, with your noise and your dirt. Overdo me. Let me dance to your beat. Let me get loud. Let it hurt. Run it through me. Don't hold back. You are certain to impress. Tell the driver this is where I'm staying. Hello, Buenos Aires. Get this. Just look at me, dressed up somewhere to go. We'll put on a show. Take me in at your flight, lick your feet, give me lights, set me humming. Shoot me up with your blood, wear me up with your nights, watch me coming. All I want is a whole lot of excess. Tell the singer this is where I'm playing. Stand back, Buenos Aires, because you ought to know what you're gonna get in me. Just a little touch of star quality. And if ever I go too far, it's because of the things you are. Beautiful town, I love you. And if I need a moment's rest, give your lover the very best. Real out of town and silence. You're a tramp, you're a treat, you will shine to the death, you are shoddy. But your flesh, you are meat, you'll have every breath in my body. Put me down for a lifetime of success. Give me credit, I'll find ways of paying. Rio de la Plata, Florida, Corrientes, 9 de Julio, all I want to know. Stand back, Buenos Aires, because you ought to know what you're gonna get in me. Just a little touch of, just a little touch of, just a little touch of star quality.
Scene 5, another suitcase in another hall. Eva is rejected by Magaldi after they arrive in his home and she sees he has a family. She goes and sits in a bar, not knowing what to do next. She is alone in a strange big city, but she's a fighter. Che is there, posing as the bartender.
I don't expect my love affairs to last for long. Never fool myself that my dreams will come true. Being used to trouble, I anticipated, but all the same I hate it. Wouldn't you? So what happens now?
Another suitcase in another hall.
What happens now?
Take your picture off another wall.
Where am I going to?
You'll get by, you always have before.
Where am I going to? Time and time again, I've said that I don't care, that I'm immune to gloom, that I'm hard through and through. But every time it matters, all my words hurt me, so anyone can hurt me, and they do. So what happens now?
Another suitcase in another hall.
What happens now?
Take your picture off another wall.
Where am I going to?
You'll get by, you always have before.
Where am I going to?
Eva then goes to an audition, but is turned down for the part. As she is leaving, walking past a line of other women who are also there to audition, a photographer notices her.
Call in 3 months' time and I'll be fine. I know, well, maybe not that fine, but I'll survive anyhow. I won't recall the names and places of each sad occasion, but that's no consolation here and now. So what happens now?
Another suitcase in another hall.
So what happens now?
Take a picture of another wall.
Where am I going
You'll
to?
get by, you always have before.
Where am I going to? I'm pretty sure that's Travis.
Don't ask more.
Scene 6. Good night and thank you. The following is sung while a slew of different men enter and exit Eva's life and apartment.
Good night and thank you, whoever. She's in every magazine, been photographed, seen, she is known. We don't like to rush, but your case has been packed. If she's missed anything, you can give her a ring, but she won't always answer the phone.
Oh, but it's sad when a love affair dies, but we have pretended enough. It's best that we both stop fooling ourselves.
Which means there is no one
There is
at
no
all.
one at all.
Never has been and never will be a
will
lover,
be a lover.
male or female, who
Female.
hasn't an eye on. In
Who
fact, they
hasn't
rely
an eye
on
on.
tricks they can
They
try on their partner.
Tricks
They're hoping their lover will help
They're
them or
hoping
keep
their
them, support them, promote them, don't blame them.
keep
You're
them,
the same.
promote them, don't blame them. You're the same.
Good night and thank you, Emilio. You've completed your task. What more can we ask of you now? Please sign the book on your way out the door, and that will be all. If she needs you, we'll call, but I don't think that's likely somehow.
Oh, but it's sad when a love affair dies. But when we were hot, we were hot. I know you'll look back on the good times we shared.
Which means there is no one at all. Never has been and never will be a lover, male or female, Who hasn't an eye on? In fact, they rely on tricks they can try on their partner. They're hoping their lover will help them or keep them, support them, promote them. Don't blame her, you're the same.
There is no soap like Zaz, no detergent, lotion, or oil with such power in the shower. It's the mother and father of luxury lover, the talk of the bath, the great ointment. One little frolic with news as carbolic. You sent it, you'll be sent.
Good night and thank you, Senor Habon. We are grateful you found her a spot on the sound radio. We'll think of you every time she's on the air. We'd love you to stay, but you'd be in the way. So do up your trousers and go.
Oh, but it's sad when a love affair dies, the decline into silence and doubt. Our passion will too intense to survive.
Which means...
Right now, a fairly long line of Eva's rejected lovers has formed.
This is a club I should never have joined. Someone has made us look fools. Argentine men call this sexual shots. Someone has altered the rules.
Fame on the wire is as far as it goes is all very well, but every girl knows.
She needs a man she can monopolize with fingers in dozens of different pies. Oh, but it's sad when a love affair dies.
Scene 7. The Lady's Got Potential. It is now 1943, 9 years after Eva's initial arrival in Buenos Aires. The country is in turmoil as dictators overthrow the government and oppress the Argentine people. Eva is making her way up the social ladder in an attempt to make it as a race actress.
In June of 43, there was a military coup. Behind it was a gang called the GOU, who did not feel the need to be elected. They had themselves a party at the point of a gun. They were slightly to the right of Attila the Hun. A bomb or two and very few objected. Yeah, just one shell and governments fall like flies. Kapow, die, they stumble and fall. Bye-bye, backs to the wall. Aim high, we're having a ball. The tank and bullet rule as democracy dies. The lady's got potential, she was setting her sights on making it in movies with her name in lights. The greatest social climber since Cinderella. Okay, she couldn't act, but she had the right friends, and we all know a career depends on knowing the right fella to be stellar. Yeah, just one shell and governments lose their nerve. Kapow, die, they stumble and fall. Bye-bye, backs to the wall. Aim high, we're having a ball. That's how we get the government we deserve. Now the man behind the president calling the shots, involved so discreetly in a lot of their plots, was Colonel Juan Perón, would-be dictator. He began in the army out of Italy, so saw Mussolini's rise from the very front row, and reckoned he'd do likewise sooner or later. Yeah, just one blast and the tear gas falls like rain. Kapow, die, they haven't a chance. Bye-bye, the terrors advance. But one guy doesn't dirty his hands. Perón was biding time out in the slow lane. Yeah, suddenly an earthquake hit the town of San Juan. Kapow, die, they stumble and fall. Bye-bye, keep away from the wall. But one guy was having a ball, the tragedy, a golden chance for Perón. He organized the concert with incredible flair, in aid of all the victims, such a grand affair. Politicians, actors, stars of every flavor. It was on January 22nd, 1944, a night to remember, yeah, that's for sure. For that's the night that Perón first met Eva. For that's the night that Perón first met Eva.
Scene 8, the charity concert. Backstage at the Luna Park Stadium, Eva, who is now a successful actress, and Perón, now one of the most powerful men in the military government, are both present. Eva's old friend, Magaldi, is finishing his act on stage.
On this night, on this night, on this night of 1,000 stars, let me take you to heaven soar, where the music of love's guitars plays forevermore.
Magaldi comes off stage and runs into Eva.
Magaldi,
Eva Duarte,
your act hasn't changed much.
neither has yours.
Magaldi leaves. The crowd begins to call for Perón. Perón pushes his way onto the stage.
I stand here as a servant of the people as we come together for a marvelous cause. You've shown by your presence, your deeds, and applause what the people can do. True power is yours, not the government, unless it represents the people.
Scene 9, politics, the art of the possible. Chase stands at the edge of the stage, silently judging the crowd.
One always picks the easy fights. One praises fools, one smothers light. One shifts from left to right. Politics, the art of the possible.
Scene 10, I'd be surprisingly good for you. Perón leaves the stage and finds himself face to face with Eva.
Colonel Perón.
Eva Duarte, I've heard so much about you. I'm amazed, for I'm only a soldier, one of thousands defending the country at arms.
But when you act, the things you do affect us all.
But when you act, you take us away from the squalor of the real world. Are you here on your own?
Yes, oh yes.
So am I. What a fortunate coincidence. Maybe you're my reward for my efforts here tonight.
It seems crazy, but you must believe there's nothing calculated, nothing planned. Please forgive me if I seem naive. I would never want to force your hand, but please understand I'd be good for you. I don't always rush in like this. 20 seconds after saying hello, telling strangers I'm too good to miss. If I'm wrong, I hope you'll tell me so, but you really should know I'd be good for you. I'd be surprisingly good for you. I won't go on if I'm boring you. But do you understand my point of view? Do you like what you hear, what you see, and would you be good for me too? I'm not talking of a hurried night, a frantic tumble, then a shy goodbye. Creeping home before it gets too light. That's not the reason that I caught your eye, which has to imply I'd be good for you. I'd be surprisingly good for you.
Please go on, you enthrall me. I can understand you perfectly, and I like what I hear, what I see, and knowing me. I could be good for you too.
By now, they're back at Eva's apartment. Eva draws the curtains.
I'm not talking of a hurried night, a frantic tumble, then a shy goodbye. Creeping home before it gets too light. That's not the reason that I caught your eye, which has to imply I'd be good for you. I'd be surprisingly good for you.
Scene 11. Hello and goodbye. Eva and Perron now arrive at Perron's apartment. Perron's 16-year-old mistress is in the bed.
Hello and goodbye. I've just unemployed you. You can go back to school. You've had a good run. I'm sure he enjoyed you. Don't act sad or surprised. Let's be friends, civilized. Come on, little one. Don't sit there like a dummy. The day you knew would arrive is here. You'll survive. So move, funny face.
Eva throws the girl's clothes at her, but she still doesn't move or even say anything.
I like your conversation. You've a catchy turn of phrase. You're obviously going through some adolescent phase.
Eva and Perron wait as the mistress gets dressed. Then she walks slowly out of the bedroom and over to Perron.
So what happens now? So what happens now? Where am I going to?
You'll get by, you always have before.
Am I going to?
Don't ask anymore.
Scene 12. Perron's latest fling. Che poses as a waiter as he glides through a garden party full of wealthy aristocrats.
That's you, Shay. Jared.
Watering hole. Oh, I think he
Okay.
got kicked out.
Okay, hang on. Zoom recording.
At the watering holes of the well-to-do, I detect a resistance to
Precisely.
a heroine style.
What did I noticed?
The shooting sticks of the upper class
Give her an inch.
aren't supporting a single ass that would rise for the girl.
She'll take a mile. Such a shame she wandered into our enclosure. How unfortunate this person has forced us to be blunt. No, we wouldn't mind seeing her at Harrods, but behind the jewelry counter, not in front.
Che is now dressed as a reporter as he wanders through the Army's officers' barracks.
Could there be in our fighting corps, a lack of enthusiasm for
Exactly.
Peron's latest flame.
You said it, brother.
Should you wish to cause great distress in the tidiest officer's mess, just mention her name.
That
That
is
isn't funny. Peron is a fool, breaking every taboo, installing the girl in the army HQ, and she's an actress, the last straw. Her only good parts are between her thighs. She should stare at the ceiling, not reach for the skies, or she could be his last whore. The evidence suggests she has other interests. If it's her that's using him, he's exceptionally dim. Bitch. Dangerous Jade. We have been on ourselves just lit. We have to make you stop
in a broadcasting booth, a microphone in front of her as she performs her live radio show.
I am only a radio star with just one weekly show. But speaking as one of the people, I want you to know we are tired of the decline of Argentina with no sign of a government able to give us the things we deserve.
Back to the officers' barracks.
It's no crime for officers to do as they please, as long as they're discreet and keep clear of disease. We ignore, we disregard. But once they allow a bit on the side to move to the center where she's not qualified, we are forced to discard. She should get into her head. She should not get out of bed. She should know that she's not paid to be loud but to be laid. Slut! Dangerous Jade.
Ava, the glamorous movie and radio star, enters, flanked by heavies. Che is there as well, still in the guise of a reporter.
This has really been your year, Miss Duarte. Tell us where you go from here, Miss Duarte. Which are the roles that you yearn to play? Whom did you sleep dine with yesterday?
Acting is limiting, the line's not mine. That's no help to the Argentine.
Can we assume then that you'll quit? Is this because of your involvement with Colonel Peron?
good night and thank you.
They push Shay aside and guide Ava out.
She won't be kept happy by her night on the tile. She says it's his body, but she's after his files. So get back onto the street. She should get into her head. She should not get out of bed. She should know that she's not paid to be loud, but to be laid. The evidence suggests she has other interests. If it's her who's using him, he's exceptionally dim. Things have reached a pretty house with all the empty lower class. Listen, oh, he's mine. Can't be certain I admired.
Scene 13, a new Argentina. Peron and Ava are now at Peron's apartment, discussing the state of affairs.
Dice are rolling, the knives are out. Would-be presidents are all around. I don't say they mean harm, but they'd each give an arm to see us 6 feet underground.
It doesn't matter what those morons say. Our nation's leaders are a feeble crew. There's only 20 of them anyway. What is 20 next to millions who are looking to you? All you have to do is sit and wait, keeping out of everybody's way. You'll be handed power on a plate when the ones who matter have their say, and with chaos installed, you can reluctantly agree to be called.
Then again, we could be foolish not to quit while we're ahead. For distance lends enchantment, and that is why all exiles are distinguished. More important, they're not dead. I could find job satisfaction in Paraguay.
This is crazy defeatist talk. Why commit political suicide? There's no risk, there's no call for any action at all when you have unions on your side.
Army representatives are waiting in Perón's apartment to arrest him when he and Eva arrive. After they take him, the people of Argentina take to the streets to protest and rally for his release, as does Eva.
A new Argentina, shade of the masses untied. A new Argentina, the voice of the people cannot be denied.
Eva records her weekly broadcast and calls for the Argentine people to rally for Perón.
There is only one man who can lead any workers' regime. He lives for your problems. He shares your ideals and your dreams. He supports you, for he loves you, understands you, is one of you. If not, how could he love me?
A
new Argentina,
the
workers' battle song. A new Argentina, the voice of the people, rings out loud and long.
Now I am a worker, I've suffered the way that you do. I've been unemployed and I've starved and I've hated it too. But I found my salvation in Perón. May the nation let him save them as he saved me.
A new Argentina, a new age about to begin. A new Argentina, we face the world together and no dissent within.
Eva is visiting Perón in jail, and it's clear he is starting to lose faith in their fight.
Then again, we could be foolish not to quit while we're ahead. I can see us many miles from here, inactive, sipping cocktails on a terrace, taking breakfast in bed, sleeping easy, doing crosswords. It's attractive.
Don't think I don't think like you. I often get those nightmares too. They always take some swallowing. Sometimes it's very difficult to keep momentum if it's you that you are following. Don't close doors, keep an escape clause, because we might lose the Big Apple. Would I have done what I did if I hadn't thought, if I hadn't known we would take the country?
Eva exits the prison and makes an announcement to the waiting crowd.
Perón has resigned from the army, and this we avow. The descomisados are those he is marching with now. He supports you, for he loves you, understands you, is one of you. If not, how could he love me?
A new
Argentina, the chains of the masses untied. A new Argentina, the voice of the people cannot be and must not be denied.
The full force of the Argentine people is too much for the military dictatorship, and they finally release Perón. Eva escorts him out of the prison to a loud cheers from a waiting crowd. After this, Perón and Eva are married. Che looks on from the crowd.
How annoying that they have to fight elections for their cause. The inconvenience having to get a majority. If normal methods of persuasion fail to win them applause, there are other ways of establishing authority.
A new Argentina, the chains of the masses untied. A new Argentina, the voice of the people cannot be and must not be and will not be denied.
End of Act 1. Act 2, Scene 14. On the balcony of the Casa Rosada. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Perón has just won a sweeping victory in 1946 presidential election. This is the first public appearance by Perón and Eva since the trial. Action takes place both inside and outside on the balcony of the Casa Rosada, the pink presidential palace in Buenos Aires.
People of Argentina, your newly elected president, Juan Perón.
The crowd begins to chant, Perón, Perón, and Perón steps onto the balcony to the sound of the great applause.
Argentinos, Argentinos, we are all workers now, fighting against our common enemies, poverty, social injustice, foreign domination of our industries, reaching for our common goals, our independence, our dignity, our pride. Let the world know that our great nation is awakening and that its heart beats in the humble bodies of Juan Perón and his wife, the First Lady of Argentina, Eva Duarte de Perón.
Perón steps aside as Eva joins on the balcony. They both wave and smile. The crowd by now are beginning to chant, Evita, Evita. As they quiet down, Eva begins to sing.
It won't be easy. You'll think it's strange when I try to explain how I feel, that I still need your love after all that I've done. You won't believe me. All you will see is a girl you once knew, although she's dressed up to the nines, at sixes and sevens with you. I had to let it happen. I had to change. Couldn't stay all my life down at heel, looking out of the window, staying out of the sun. So I chose freedom, running around, trying everything new, but nothing impressed me at all. I never expected it to. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance. And as for fortune, and as for fame, I never invited them in, though it seemed to the world they were all I desired. They are illusions, they're not the solutions they promised to be. The answer was here all the time. I love you and hope you love me. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Ava breaks down. The crowd takes up her tune, humming.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is, I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance. Have I said too much? There's nothing more I can think of to say to you. But all you have to do is look at me to know that every word is true.
The crowd is aesthetically enthusiastic. Ava goes inside from the balcony and runs to Perón and her family, who are all there.
Just listen to that, the voice of Argentina. We are adored, we are loved.
Statesmanship is more than entertaining peasants.
We shall see, little man.
Evita Perón, la Santa Peronista. Evita Perón, la Santa Peronista. Evita Perón, la Santa Peronista.
I am, oh, sorry. I go back to the balcony. Yeah. I am only a simple woman who lives to serve Perón in his noble crusade to rescue his people. I was once as you are now, and I promise you this. We will take these riches from the oligarchs, only for you, for all of you. And one day, you too will inherit these treasures. Descamisados, mis compañeros. When they fire those cannons, when the crowds sing of glory, it is not just for Perón, but for all of us. For all of us.
The aristocrats are watching Ava's speech out of the window of a fancy building, rather than go down to the streets with the crowd.
Things have reached a pretty pass when someone pretty lower class can be accepted and admired.
But our privileged class is dead. Look who they are calling for now.
Scene 15. High flying, adored. Ava and Perón arrive at a fancy banquet. She is dressed to the nines, and the crowd claps appropriately as they enter.
High flying adored, so young, the instant queen, a rich, beautiful thing, of all the talents, a cross between a fantasy of the bedroom and a saint. You were just a backstreet girl, hustling and fighting, scratching and biting, high flying adored. Did you believe in your wildest moments all this would be yours? that you'd become the lady of them all. Were the stars in your eyes when you crawled in at night? From the bars, from the sidewalks, from the gutter theatrical. Don't look down, it's a long, long way to fall. High flying adored, what happens now? Where do you go from here? For someone on top of the world, the view is not exactly clear. A shame you did it all at 26. There are no mysteries now. Nothing can thrill you. No one fulfill you. High flying adored, I hope you come to terms with boredom. So famous, so easily, so soon. It's not the wisest thing to be. You won't care if they love you. It's been done before. You'll despair if they hate you. You'll be drained of all energy. All the young who've made it would agree.
High flying adored, that's good to hear, but unimportant. My story's quite usual. Local girl makes good words famous man. I was snap in the right place at the perfect time. Filled a gap, I was lucky. But one thing I'll say for me, no one else can fill it like I can.
Scene 16, Rainbow High. Ava is in a dressing room surrounded by wardrobe and makeup artists.
There again, I've more to do than simply get the message through. I haven't started. Let's get this show on the road. Let's make it obvious. Perron is off and rolling.
Eyes, hair, mouth, figure, dress, voice, style, movement, hands, magic rings, glamour, face, diamonds, excitement, image.
I came from the people, they need to adore me. So Christian Dior me, from my head to my toes. I need to be dazzling, I want to be rainbow high. They must have excitement, and so must I.
His hair, mouth, figure, dress, voice, style, movement.
I'm their product, it's vital you sell me. So Machiavel me, make an Argentine rose. I need to be thrilling, I want to be rainbow high. They need their escape, and so do I.
Eyes, hair, mouth, figure, dress, voice, style, movement, hands, magic rings, glamour, face, diamonds, excitement, image.
All my desk calming sonos expect me to outshine the enemy. I won't disappoint them. I'm their savior. That's what they call me. So Lauren Bacall me. Anything goes to make me fantastic. I have to be rainbow high in magical colors. You're not decorating a girl for a night on the town. And I'm not a second-rate queen getting kicks with a crown. Next stop will be Europe. The rainbow's gonna tour, dressed up somewhere to go. We'll put on a show. Look out, mighty Europe, because you ought to know what you're gonna get in me. Just a little touch of Argentina's brand of star quality.
Scene 17, Rainbow Tour. Ava boards a plane to Europe, waving goodbye to a crowd of excited Argentinians. Perron and his officers are in a room watching footage of Eva as she tours Europe, promoting the new Argentina and trying to gain support for Perón and their country. Che is there as well, posing as a janitor.
People of Europe, I send you the rainbow of Argentina!
Spain has fallen to the charms of Evita. She can do what she likes, it doesn't matter much.
She's Our Lady of the New World with the golden touch. She's filled a bull ring, 45,000 seater.
But if you're prettier than General Franco, that's not hard.
Franco's reign in Spain should see out the 40s. So you've just acquired an ally who looks as secure in his job as you. More important current political thought is your wife's a phenomenal asset, your trump card.
Let's hear it for the Rainbow Tour. It's been an incredible success. We weren't quite sure, we had a few doubts.
Would Evita win through?
But the answer is yes. There you are. I told you so. Makes no difference where she goes. The whole world over, just the same. Just listen to them call her name. And who would underestimate the actress now?
Now, I don't like to spoil a wonderful story, but the news from Rome isn't quite as good. She hasn't gone down like they thought she would. Italy's unconvinced by Argentine glory. They equate Perón with Mussolini. Can't think why.
In Italy, Eva and her entourage are being chased off by a crowd.
Did you hear that? They called me a whore. They actually called me a whore.
But Signora Perón, it's an easy mistake. I'm still called an admiral, yet I gave up the sea long ago.
More bad news from Rome. She met with the Pope. She only got a rosary, a kindly word.
I wouldn't say the Holy Father gave her the bird, but papal decorations never a hope.
She still looked the part at St. Peter's, caught the eye.
Let's hear it for the Rainbow Tour. It's been an incredible success. We weren't quite sure. We had a few doubts.
Would Evita win through?
But the answer is
A qualified.
Yes.
Eva started well, no question, in France. Shining like a sun through the post-war haze, a beautiful reminder of the carefree days. She nearly captured the French, she sure had the chance. But she suddenly seemed to lose interest. She looked tired.
Ava in France, watching a play, when she suddenly gets up to leave. As she exits the balcony seating area, she collapses, and those around her rush to her aid.
Face the facts, the rainbow's starting to fade. I don't think she'll make it to England now.
It wasn't on the schedule anyhow.
You'd better get out the flags and fix a parade. Some kind of coming home in triumph is required.
Let's hear it for the Rainbow Tour. It's been an incredible success. We weren't quite sure. We had a few doubts. Would Avita win through?
And the answer is
yes.
And no.
And yes.
And no.
And yes.
No.
Let's hear it for the Rainbow Tour. It's been an incredible success. We weren't quite sure. We had a few doubts. Would Evita win through? And the answer is yes.
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 Scene 18. The actress hasn't learned the lines you'd like to hear. Ava is at a society party where mainly rich aristocrats are mingling in a large garden, dressed fancy and looking snooty. Ava walks among them, shaking hands and greeting people, even as they look down their nose at her.
A strawberry story there.
Only an actress can. There's a
Stick just to play with shows a week to matinees.
My
How
how
the world
begins
to
to
turn
turn.
when the chorus girl ever learn.
My, how the worm begins to turn.
When the chorus girl ever learn.
Chorus girl hasn't known the lines you'd like to hear. She won't go scrambling over the backs of the poor to be accepted by making donations just large enough to the correct charities. She won't be president of your wonderful societies of philanthropy, even if you'd asked her to be, as you should have asked her to be. The actress hasn't learned the lines you'd like to hear. She won't join your clubs. She won't dance in your halls. She won't help the hungry once a month at your tambolas. She'll simply take control as you disappear.
Suddenly, the garden party is empty, and Ava sits alone at a table, holding her parasol. Then Shay and a crowd of lower-class Argentinians stand at the gate of the large garden estate, glowering at her from behind the bars.
Forgive my intrusion, but fine as those sentiments sound, little has changed for us peasants down here on the ground. I hate to sound childish, ungrateful, I don't like to moan. But do you now represent anyone's cause but your own?
Everything done will be justified by my foundation.
Scene 19, and the money kept rolling in and out. Ava begins a tour of the country where she gives out money to the poorer citizens.
And the money kept rolling in from every side. Ava's pretty hands reached out and they reached wide. Now you may feel it should have been a voluntary cause, but that's not the point, my friends. When the money keeps rolling in, you don't ask how. Think of all the people guaranteed a good time now. Ava's called the hungry tour, opened up the doors. Never been a fun like the foundation Ava Perron.
Rolling, 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 rolling on in, rolling on in, rolling on in, rolling in.
Would you like to try a college education? Own your landlord's house, take the family on vacation. Ava and her blessed fun can make your dreams come true. Here's all you have to do, my friends. Write your name and your dream on a card or a pad or a ticket. Throw it high in the air and should Our Lady pick it, she will change your way of life for a week or even two. Name me anyone who cares as much as Ava Perron.
Rolling, rolling, rolling,
Rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling, rolling on out, rolling on out, rolling on out, on out.
And the money kept rolling out in all directions, to the poor, to the weak, to the destitute of all complexions. Now cynics claim a little of the cash has gone astray, but that's Not the point, my friends. When the money keeps rolling out, you don't keep books. You can tell you've done well by the happy, grateful looks. Accountants only slow things down. Figures get in the way. Never been a lady loved as much as Eva Peron.
Rolling, 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 rolling on out, rolling on out, rolling on out, on out.
Eva!
Argentina, celebrating Eva's and all the ways he and the government are now helping them.
When the money keeps rolling out, you don't keep books. You can tell you've done well by the happy and grateful looks. Accountants only slow things down. Figures get in the way. Never been a lady loved as much as Eva Peron.
Rolling, 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 rolling on out, rolling on out, rolling on out, rolling on out, on out.
The crowd chants for Eva, Padito Perosina Fermino, as she gives a speech at a rally.
Peron is everything. He is the soul, the nerve, the hope, and the reality of the Argentine people. We all know that there is only one man in our movement with his own source of light. We all feed from his light, and that is Peron.
And now she wants to be vice president.
Scene 20. She is a diamond. Interior, Peron's cabinet.
That was the over-the-top, unacceptable suggestion. We didn't approve, but we couldn't prevent the games of the wife of the president. But to fill her intentions' encouragement, she's out of her depth and out of the question. But on the other hand, she's all they have. She's a diamond in their dull gray lives, and that's the hottest kind of stone. It usually survives. And when you think about it, can you recall the last time they loved anyone at all? She's not a bauble you can brush aside. She's been out doing what we just talked about. Example, gave us back our businesses, got the English out. And when you think about it, well, why not do one or two of the things we promised to? But on the other hand, she's slowing down. She's lost a little of that magic drive, but I would not advise those critics present to derive any satisfaction from her fading star. She's the one who's kept us where we are.
She's the one who's kept you where you are.
Scene 21. Santa Evita. Eva and her family are at a church. She is taking communion when she is suddenly collapsed to the floor. It is obvious that she is more sick than she has been letting on. She is rushed to a hospital, and outside, a small crowd of children stand to greet her.
These gentle will you bless a little child? doing my best and praying for you, even though you're already blessed. Mother of love, make me special. Be my everything wonderful, perfect and true. I'll try to be exactly like you. Please hold me ever. Be the hungry child.
Turn a blind eye, Evita, turn a blind eye.
Doing my best and praying for you, and you're already blessed.
Santa, Santa Evita.
Madre de todos los niños, de los tiranizados, de los descamisados, de los trabajadores de la Argentina.
Santa, Santa Evita. Madre de todos
Los niños, de los tiranizados, de los descamisados, de los trabajadores de la Argentina.
Meanwhile, riots are happening in the streets. The press is being overthrown. Unemployment hits a high, and the military is fighting violently with the crowds of rioting descamisados.
Why try and run a country when you can become a saint?
Scene 22. Waltz for Ava and Che. Ava is rushed into the hospital ER and given gas to render her unconscious as the doctors try to figure out what is wrong with her. The following is like a dream scene, with Ava and Che dancing in a large ballroom, which is empty, aside from the two of them.
Tell me before I waltz out of your life, before turning my back on the past. Forgive my impertinent behavior, but how long do you think this pantomime can last? Tell me before I ride off in the sunset, there's one thing I never got clear. How can you claim you're our savior when those who oppose you are stepped on or cut up or simply disappear?
Tell me before you get onto your bus, before joining the Forgotten Brigade, how can one person like me say, alter the time-honored way the game is played? Tell me before you get onto your high horse, just what you expect me to do. I don't care what those bourgeoisie say. I'm not in business for them, but to give all my descamisados a magical moment or two.
There is evil ever around, fundamental system of government quite incidental.
So what are my chances of honest advances? I'd say now, better to win by admitting my sin than to lose with a halo.
Tell me before I seek worthier pastures and thereby restore self-esteem. How can you be so short-sighted to look never further than this week or next week, to have no impossible dream?
Allow me to help you slink off to the sidelines and mark your due with 3 cheers. But first tell me who'd be delighted if I said I'd take on the world's greatest problems, from war to pollution, no hope of solution, even if I live for 100 years. There is evil
ever around, fundamental system of government quite incidental.
So go if you're able to somewhere unstable and stare. Whip up your hate in some tolerant state, but not here, dear. Is that clear, dear?
They dance some more, but then Che goes to spin Ava and she tumbles to the ground. She places a hand over her abdomen where the cancer is.
Oh, what I'd give for 100 years, but the physical interferes. Every day more, oh my creator, what is the good of the strongest heart in a body that's falling apart? A serious flaw, I hope you know that.
Scene 23. Your little body's slowly breaking down. Tyrone sits at Ava's bedside, forlornly. He is looking weaker still.
Your little body's slowly breaking down. You're losing speed. You're losing strength, not style. That goes on flourishing forever. But your eyes, your smile, do not have the sparkle of your fantastic past. If you climb one more mountain, it could be your last.
I'm not that ill. Bad moments come, but they go. Some days I'll find some a little bit harder. But that doesn't mean we should give up our dream. Have you ever seen me defeated? Don't you forget what I've been through, and yet I'm still standing.
Ava, you're dying.
So what happens now? Where am I going to?
Don't ask anymore.
Scene 24. You must love me. Tyrone takes Ava back to the Casa de Rosada, carrying her to her bedroom. He sits outside in the hall, obviously upset that his wife is dying.
Where do we go from here? This isn't where we intended to be. We had it all. You believed in me. I believed in you. Certainties disappear. What do we do for our dream to survive? How do we keep all our passions alive as we used to do? Deep in my heart, I'm concealing things that I'm longing to say, scared to confess what I'm feeling, frightened you'll slip away. You must love me. You must love me. Why are you at my side? How can I be any use to you now? Give me a chance and I'll let you see how nothing has changed. Deep in my heart, I'm concealing things that I'm longing to say, scared to confess what I'm feeling, frightened you'll slip away. You must love me. You must love me. You must love me.
Scene 25. Ava's final broadcast. Hair and makeup artists are all around Ava. She weakly brushes them away, staring sorrowfully at her reflection in the mirror.
The actress hasn't learned the lines you'd like to hear. She's sad for her country, sad to be defeated by her own weak body.
A microphone is switched on. She is now on the air.
I want to tell the people of Argentina, I've decided I should decline all the honors and titles you pressed me to take, for I'm contented. Let me simply go on as the woman who brings her people to the heart of Peron. Don't cry for me, Argentina. The truth is I shall not leave you, though it may get harder for you to see me. I'm Argentina and always will be.
Eva breaks down, then works to pull herself together so that she can finish.
Have I said too much? There's nothing more I can think of to say to you. But all you have to do is look at me to know that every word is true.
Scene 26, Latin chant. A crowd of people stand outside Casa Rosada. They hold candles, rosaries, pictures of Eva, and all look solemn as they stare at a single lit window in the palace.
Respice que sumus Domine, amulam tuam vita, in infirmitate et anim refore, quam criasti ut castigationus emendata, se tua senti et medicina, salvatam per Christum Dominum, que vivit et regnat per omnia saecula saeculorum. Amen.
She had her moments. She had some style. The best show in town was the crowd outside the Casa Rosada, crying Eva Peron. But that's all gone now.
Inside the lit room, a frail-looking Eva lies in her bed, surrounded by Perón and her family.
The choice was mine and mine completely. I could have any price that I desired. I could burn with the splendor of the brightest fire, or else I could choose time. Remember, I was very young then, and a year was forever and a day. So what use could 50, 60, 70 be? I saw the light and I was on my way. And how I lived, how they shone, but how soon the lights were gone.
From outside, we see the light in the window go out, signaling that Eva has died. The crowd breaks down, sobbing, wailing, leaning on each other. Scene 27, Lambert. back in the church from the end of scene 2, as a procession of Argentinian people pass Ava in her glass coffin. Che Loader's nearby.
The choice was yours and no one else's. You can cry for her body in despair. Hang your head because she is no longer there to shine, bedazzle, or betray. How she lived, how she shined, but how soon the lights were gone.
Eyes, hair, face, image, all must be preserved. Still, life displayed forever, no less than she deserved.
Bells chime as the curtains close. The end.
That was awesome.
Great job, you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Paul, are you crying too?
A little bit, a little bit, a little bit.
That's totally crying.
Sorry about that.
No, it's great. It's great.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love you guys. That was really fun.
Yes,
It
thank you,
was.
Chelsea. This is
This
awesome.
is epic.
And less than 2 hours.
I know. What a wonderful